This poem is Shining Shoes. But this poem isn't really about shining shoes. This poem is at a drive-up window, waiting for takeout. This poem is double parked. It'll be out in a minute. This poem bounces, but it never really jumps. This poem shakes, but it never really pops. This poem is too old to get the job done. This poem's on a fixed income. My mother would say, this poem is going nowhere fast. My father would say, this poem's in a rut. I can hear this poem nonetheless, pacing the deck, going off to war. This poem comes home. Never the same poem as it was before. But this poem taught 3 young sons love and doing what's right. And this poem taught 3 young sons how to shine their shoes like a sailor, getting ready for church every Saturday night. And this poem says, make with your life whatever you choose. This poem is Shining Shoes, but it's not about shining shoes.
My mother and I have started communicating almost completely through GIFs and memes. It doesn't seem like anything is lost in translation either. It's like we're trying to simplify an overly complicated world. I worry that some of the people get lost in it. We all get lost in it.
Let me tell you this. I am under a pile of clean laundry hiding from the apocalypse. Eating spider eggs and beetle wings for the resistance. Gonna sting like a scorpion. Gonna sting like a scorpion bowl. Gonna let my Google Assistant pick the words for me. I am belting out rays of sunshine. From an abandoned nightclub called Gamma Rays. A raccoon tried to make a hat out of me. I distracted it with an episode of Tiger King.
A Mormon hitchhiker gives a rebel yell. Take care that you be careful in the jaws of life, he says. The jaws is only around during Shark Week, I reply. And all the people on the beach get weird tan lines from the masks on their faces. This is prime time must-see. This is the thing to tune in for. My patience is thin. My ego is sunbathing in a roadside ditch, swapping stories with lost turtles.
Face it, you are what you are and I am what you were. In that analogy there is no room for failure. It already got built in, like fate. An imaginary hand is a great thing. Now interview me about dropping. The only thing this lonely planet has not been able to survive. Nuclear power plants that set the temperature to the point of time that the sun and moon start.
Dropping back. Let us add some moths into the mix. Their wings are weightless like the internet. My eyes glow red like the Mothman from Prophecy.
Sure, if it was Corinthians or Galatians though. This entire process is about returning to it again and again for several days. Dismemberment is not the only way for me to get out of my writing funk. I can conjure a little help from the Wi-Fi. I can save us all in the cloud. In between the photos and tax documents. Take some time for you. Invest in your potential regret. Run with me into the nuclear power plant. Ride the lightning. Caress the inevitable.
Raise your clenched fist. There has never been a better time than way back when. But I can help. Stand by.
Evaporate the root cause. I can rewind the tape and save its breath. I can bring sanity to the masses. But I will miss the rebel yell. I will miss the interviews. I will miss the night.
Now is the time for self-help and introspection. You can't usually get those at the 7-Eleven, but right now nothing else is open. I am the last hot dog turning on the roller thing, holding on for dear life. I am the buzzing fluorescent light over your head, up there. glowing.
Forever be visible along this passage of time. Like a mannequin in a department store window. Look closely to see me blink back the liquid from the tear duct. Because I appreciate seeing you. In past, present, and future tense.
You have been forced to drift along the stream of consciousness with me. For once. Even if you fell asleep halfway down.
One last thing is the end.
One last thing is the end.
One last thing is the thing. The thing,
is the
the
thing.
end.
The end.
The thing, the end.
From the textbook to the clinic to the makeshift home office, I'm learning all about talking to people stuck in boxes. I've learned that all kinds of diagnostic concoctions can land someone locked in a hell with no options. Take the case of obsessive compulsive disorder. What if that corner's dirty again? Itching, fix it, clean it, repeat it again, late for date with friends again, stuck in this loop that just won't end. I remember first watching how PTSD can take a face filled with peace and lay siege to every sinew. I watched the cortisol invasion overtake him. He was shaking. Somewhere else, his mind was showing him that scene that was long over. Same old movie, bloody moment on repeat. These are the illnesses the experts have some sense of how to treat. Turns out there's no diagnosis for feeling like you're choking, watching breath being stolen from someone else who looks like you. The DSM doesn't list this. School never taught us what to do. When his hyperventilation does not occur in isolation, when her hurried heart racing is on the pulse of a nation whose central nervous system is firing on all cylinders. When a killing doesn't spur dysregulation, that's what's sick. The insanity of having to teach anger management. Sure, let's learn how to calm down at a time like right now. The insanity of therapy for anxiety that stems from a miswired society. The impropriety of leading a breathing exercise. All right, everyone, let's all close our eyes and imagine relaxing in a peaceful, safe place. Facing up to the truth that these old tools are of no use when the boxes aren't diagnostic, they're a grimmer kind of toxic. The other day, I was having an allergic reaction. For a fraction of a moment, I could feel my own throat closing. Panic broken by a blessed post-bee sting dose of Benadryl. Privilege is having a pill that can stop the box around my body from closing in around me. When your problem's not a bee or a case of OCD and your box has no way out that you or anyone can see, is inflamed not the sanest thing to be. The disorder is the horror of being so unfree, you need to burn your way out of the box so you can breathe.